All credits including song, pictures etc. are given in the description. Welcome to Pingi Pongi Coding YouTube channel. Presented by Mubashir. This is the part 1 of the CSS tutorial video. There will be no project in part 1. What are we going to do today? Hello everyone, today you will be learning CSS. I will try my best to teach you CSS very easily and shortly. Guys, this is the complete tutorial of CSS. No steps skipped, one responsive website, so let's get started. What is CSS? The basics of CSS explained. Cascading Style Sheets, fondly referred to as CSS, is a simple design language intended to simplify the process of making web pages presentable. CSS handles the look and feel part of a web page. Using CSS, you can control the color of the text, the style of fonts, the spacing between paragraphs, how columns are sized and laid out, what background images or colors are used, layout designs, variations in display for different devices and screen sizes, as well as a variety of other effects. CSS is easy to learn and understand, but it provides powerful control over the presentation of an HTML document. Most commonly, CSS is combined with the markup languages HTML or XHTML. The history of CSS. CSS was first proposed by Hawk and William Lai on October 10, 1994. At the time, Lai was working with Tim Berners-Lee at CERN. Style sheets have existed in one form or another since the beginnings of Standard Generalized Markup Language, SGML, in the 1980s, and CSS was developed to provide style sheets for the web. It is developed by World Wide Web Consortium. How does CSS work? When a browser displays a document, it must combine the document's content with its style information. The browser then fetches most of the resources that are linked by the HTML document, such as embedded images and videos, and linked CSS. Advantage of CSS. CSS saves time. You can write CSS once and then reuse same sheet in multiple HTML pages. You can define a style for each HTML element and apply it to as many web pages as you want. Pages load faster if you are using CSS. You do not need to write HTML tag attributes every time. Just write one CSS rule of a tag and apply it to all the occurrences of that tag. So less code means faster download times. Easy maintenance. To make a global change, simply change the style, and all elements in all the web pages will be updated automatically. Where to start? We need a code editor to start coding. There are several code editors to start, but best is VS Code. What is a code editor? A code editor is nothing but a text editor that is specialized for writing software. It may be a standalone program or part of an integrated development environment, IDE. They make writing and reading the source code easier by differentiating the elements, so the programmers can view their code. What is IDE? An IDE, or Integrated Development Environment, enables programmers to consolidate the different aspects of writing a computer program. IDEs increase programmer productivity by combining common activities of writing software into a single application, editing source code, building executables, and debugging. How to download VS Code. Open VS Code download link. Download link is in the description. Download VS Code according to your PC, Windows, Linux, Mac, then follow my steps to install it.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to...
CSS syntax. CSS format. What is inline CSS? We can apply CSS in a single element by inline CSS technique. The inline CSS is also a method to insert style sheets in HTML document. This method mitigates some advantages of style sheets, so it is advised to use this method sparingly. If you want to use inline CSS, you should use the style attribute to the relevant tag. Disadvantages of inline CSS. You cannot use quotations within inline CSS. If you use quotations, the browser will interpret this as an end of your style value. These styles cannot be reused anywhere else. These styles are tough to be edited because they are not stored at a single place. It is not possible to style pseudocodes and pseudo-classes with inline CSS. Inline CSS does not provide browser cache advantages. Inline CSS syntax. What is internal CSS? We can apply CSS in a single element by inline CSS technique. The inline CSS is also a method to insert style sheets in HTML document. This method mitigates some advantages of style sheets, so it is advised to use this method sparingly. If you want to use inline CSS, you should use the style attribute to the relevant tag. Internal CSS syntax. What is external CSS? The external style sheet is generally used when you want to make changes on multiple pages. It is ideal for this condition because it facilitates you to change the look of the entire website by changing just one file. It uses the link tag on every pages, and the link tag should be put inside the head section. The external style sheet may be written in any text editor but must be saved with a CSS extension. This file should not contain HTML elements. Format of external CSS. What are CSS comments? CSS comments are generally written to explain your code. It is very helpful for the users who reads your code so that they can easily understand the code. Comments are ignored by browsers. Comments are single or multiple lines statement and written within comma, dot. Format of CSS comments. CSS colors. To make anything attractive, we have to add colors. Colors are specified using predefined color names, or RGB, hex, HSL, RGBA, HSLA values. In CSS, a color can be specified by using a predefined color name. We can also set the color of text or borders. In CSS, text background colors could be set. Names of some CSS colors. CSS RGB colors. An RGB color value represents red, green, and blue light sources. In CSS, a color can be specified as an RGB value using this formula: red, green, blue. RGB color example. CSS hex colors. A hexadecimal color is specified with RRGGBB, where the RR, red, GG, green, and BB, blue, hexadecimal integers specify the components of the color. In CSS, a color can be specified using a hexadecimal value in the form RRGGBB. Hex color example. CSS HSL colors. In CSS, a color can be specified using hue, saturation, and lightness, HSL, in the form SLHU, saturation, lightness. Hue is a degree on the color wheel from 0 to 360, 0 is red, 120 is green, and 240 is blue. Saturation is a percentage value, 0% means a shade of gray, and 100% is the full color. Lightness is also a percentage, 0% is black, 50% is neither light or dark, 100% is white. Hull color example. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed.